do you think people date now?
I think it's evolved into something that's a little less intimidating.
Gen Z doesn't like dating apps, in my opinion, because they get on the app, they essentially have to judge people and reject people in order to get to a match.
How far would you go to find the one? How much would you pay? $50? $100? Maybe even $500? What if I told you the companies behind Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, and dozens of other dating apps are counting on that desperation? They've mastered the art of exploiting our most fundamental human desire, connection, and transformed it into a billion-dollar industry. You thought these apps were designed to help you find love. The irony? Every successful match means they lose a paying customer. Bad for business, isn't it? Welcome to the shadow economy of modern romance, where your loneliness is their business model, where algorithms are fine-tuned not to find you the perfect partner, but to keep you swiping, hoping, never quite satisfied, and most importantly, paying. Behind those sleek interfaces and cheerful marketing lies a darker truth, a web of lawsuits, allegations, and ruthless tactics that prove these companies have one priority, and it isn't your happily ever after. By the end of this video, you'll never look at dating apps the same way again. This is the story they never wanted you to discover. The dark economics of dating apps. And it all starts with an industry secret hiding in plain sight. Most people don't realize it, but one company controls nearly all of online dating. Tinder, Hinge, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish, all under one name, Match Group. But here's where it gets messy. One of Match Group's biggest rivals, Bumble, was actually founded by Whitney Wolfe Herd, who helped build Tinder in the first place. After filing a sexual harassment lawsuit against Tinder co-founders, she left the company, settled out of court, and then launched a direct competitor. Tinder itself was born at a hackathon in 2012, created by Sean Rad and Justin Mateen. Their original prototype was called Matchbox, developed at Hatch Labs, an incubator owned by IAC, which also owned Match Group until 2020. When they saw potential in Matchbox, they quickly rebranded it to avoid confusion with their flagship Match.com, and Tinder was born. Justin took the app straight to college campuses, targeting frats, sororities, and the influential people. The swipe feature was addictively simple, and by 2014, Tinder users were swiping over 1 billion times per day, creating 12 million matches daily. The average user was spending 90 minutes a day on the app. It was fun, addictive, viral. But behind the sleek innovation and rapid growth, a toxic culture was festering that would eventually split the company and the industry in two. In 2014, Whitney Wolfe Herd quit Tinder and filed a sexual harassment lawsuit against co-founder Justin Mateen and a discrimination suit against the company, alleging she was stripped of her co-founder title because she was a woman. She exposed a toxic, misogynistic culture that divided the company. The lawsuit settled for just over $1 million with no admission of wrongdoing. Whitney went on to create Bumble, branding it as the feminist dating app, where women make the first move. The tone was different, but the goal, still profit. The same core model, the same dark mechanics, just a different coat of paint. Tinder's troubles continued. In 2017, newly appointed CEO Greg Blatt was removed after sexual harassment allegations from Vice President Rosette Pambakian, the second such accusation against Tinder leadership in 3 years. The dysfunction eventually erupted into open warfare between the company and its founders. In 2018, co-founders and early executives filed a landmark lawsuit against Match Group and IAC, alleging the parent companies deliberately manipulated Tinder's valuation to avoid paying billions in stock options. After years of legal battles, Match Group finally agreed to a $441 million settlement in December 2021, revealing just how valuable the dating app industry had become. But while executives fought over billions in boardrooms, average users were discovering a darker side to these platforms. At first, it felt like magic. You downloaded the app, swiped a few times, got some matches, some decent conversations, maybe even a couple of fun dates. There was the thrill of crafting the perfect profile, the excitement of having options, people you'd never meet in real life, all in your pocket. But over time, everything shifted. Suddenly, the very features that once made these apps fun were locked behind paywalls. Unlimited swipes, seeing who liked you, even extending expired matches, and just when you thought it couldn't get more frustrating, the ads started flooding in. What used to feel exciting now felt exhausting. You began to wonder, is it me? Have I become less attractive overnight, or is something else happening? That's when the offers started rolling in, not to help you, but to squeeze you, tempting you with promises of more matches, more visibility, more chances at finding love, if you're willing to pay. $19.99, $39.99, some even charging hundreds of dollars for their top-tier plans. According to Morgan Stanley, dating apps now extract over $3 billion annually from users seeking connection. Every feature came at a cost, designed to create urgency or spark the fear of missing out, all nudging you to pay. And it left you with one burning question. What changed? The same app that once felt like a solution was now holding your love life hostage for a fee. And in the battle for your attention and your heart, these apps will do anything to keep you swiping. Because your attention isn't just engagement, it's revenue. And your heartbreak? That's recurring income. Remember when dating apps felt open and fun? When you could swipe, match, and chat freely? That didn't last long. What you might not have realized was that you were experiencing the classic bait and switch. As these apps exploded in popularity, so did the pressure to turn a profit. So, they did what most companies do. They introduced subscriptions. Dating apps didn't improve their product over time. They deliberately sabotaged it, then sold you the fix. Limited swipes, match expirations, restricted messaging, intrusive ads. One by one, the features that made these apps enjoyable vanished behind paywalls. Suddenly, there were gold packages, platinum tiers, premium memberships, all promising to restore what you once had for free, plus a few shiny new features to sweeten the deal. Tinder pioneered this model, but Bumble and Hinge quickly followed suit. The playbook was identical across all platforms. Degrade the free experience just enough to push users towards subscriptions without driving them away completely. And here's where it gets shady. While it's quite understandable that every business is set up to make profits, what is disturbing is how far Match Group will go to monetize their apps. In 2018, Tinder was caught charging users different prices for the same subscription, based on age, gender, and location. In California, they were hit with an age discrimination lawsuit and ordered to refund millions. But outside the US, the discriminatory pricing continued. A 2020 investigation revealed Tinder was charging straight men over 30 as much as $34.37 for Tinder Plus. while queer women under 30 paid just $6.99. Same plan, massive price difference. Why target older men? Simple economics. Studies show men dramatically outnumber women on dating apps by a wide margin. On Tinder, the average match rate for men is just 0.6%, meaning the average male user must swipe right on 167 profiles to receive a single match. Fewer swipes means fewer chances, and fewer chances mess with your self-esteem, pushing you toward the one thing they want, your money. This keeps men swiping endlessly, while women are drowning in attention, a frustrating experience that keeps them in business. Perhaps most disturbing was Tinder's secret ELO score, an invisible attractiveness ranking that determined whose profiles were shown and to whom. Higher scores meant more visibility. Lower scores, you barely showed up. If you weren't considered attractive enough, your chances dropped fast, unless you paid for boosts and super likes. Even then, premium users weren't guaranteed better matches, just more swipes, more time, more money. That's not a coincidence. That's algorithmic manipulation. It's like a treadmill you can't get off, a game where the odds are stacked against you without you even knowing. And here's the twist. The subscription model was just the beginning of the manipulation. Behind the sleek interfaces and cheerful marketing, dating app users were increasingly finding themselves vulnerable. According to a 2019 ProPublica investigation, registered sex offenders were regularly appearing on match group platforms. Their analysis found that Match Group performed no screening on free platforms like Tinder, despite having the technical capacity to do so on their paid sites. Between 2017 and 2020, reports of romance scams to the FTC increased by 80%, with victims losing an estimated $304 million in 2020 alone, more than any other consumer fraud category. Dating apps had become fertile ground for sophisticated predators. The most notorious case came in 2022, when the Tinder Swindler made headlines for defrauding victims of over $10 million through elaborate romance scams orchestrated on the platform. Netflix's documentary on the case became their most watched film in 92 countries. While Match Group responded with limited safety features, critics noted a fundamental problem. Comprehensive background checks and safety measures would significantly reduce user numbers and, consequently, revenue. Once again, user well-being appeared secondary to business interests. The manipulation wasn't just about safety. It extended to how these platforms present choices. In 2019, the FTC sued Match Group for knowingly using fake accounts to bait free users into paying for subscriptions. Free users would receive notification of a match or message, but hit a paywall when trying to view it. After paying, many discovered these enticing matches were either non-existent or from suspicious accounts that Match Group had failed to remove. Tinder and Bumble both employed another deceptive tactic, intentionally hiding potential matches from free users, then teasing their existence. 10 people have liked you, the notification would say, but you'd need to pay to see who. These apps, originally designed to help customers spark romance, were slowly turning their backs against them. They weren't offering connection. They were selling the illusion of it. In early 2024, Match Group faced another lawsuit, accusing it of turning love into a rigged game, using addictive tactics borrowed from gambling apps to hook users with the promise of love while keeping it just out of reach. Behind all these illusions of choice and safety concerns lies an uncomfortable truth about what these companies actually want from you. Every successful business needs repeat customers, but dating apps face a unique problem. If they actually succeed at their stated purpose, helping you find lasting love, you'll delete the app and stop paying. From a business perspective, this creates a fundamental conflict of interest. The perfect dating app customer isn't someone who finds love quickly. It's someone who stays perpetually hopeful, perpetually searching, and perpetually paying. So they walk a tightrope, give you just enough attention to stay hopeful, but not enough to actually log off. They study your behavior, track your engagement, and fine-tune how many matches you need to keep your dopamine levels at just the right level. Ever notice how your first few days on an app are full of matches? Then it dries up. That's by design. They profit from your loneliness, not by solving it, but by extending it. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Like slot machines, they dole out attention randomly to keep you hooked. One day it's a match. The next, silence. Then, just as you're ready to quit, you get a tantalizing new match, enough to keep you swiping another day. Yes, people do find love on these platforms. The apps make sure to showcase these success stories prominently. But make no mistake, these outcomes happen despite the business model, not because of it. The longer you stay single, the longer they stay in business. The uncomfortable truth hasn't gone unnoticed, and the next generation of daters is already starting to revolt. Interestingly, the tide is shifting. Younger users are drifting away from the hot or not format, seeking love on platforms not specifically designed for romance. In a January 2024 letter to shareholders, Match Group Inc., the owner of Tinder and Hinge, admitted younger users are craving a lower pressure, more authentic way to connect, instead of marketing themselves to a gallery of strangers. But dating apps aren't backing down. Hinge claims it's setting up a date every 2 seconds, and Tinder boasts a relationship starting every 3 seconds, with nearly 60% of its users aged 18 to 30. In response to this shift, they're launching niche platforms based on shared interests like fitness, food, pets, even facial hair. New apps like Breeze set up dates without letting users message beforehand. Jigsaw hides profile pictures, only removing pieces to reveal the full photo after a certain amount of interaction. The goal? Feel more human, less transactional. But the game hasn't changed. The business model remains the same. Are dating apps inherently evil? Perhaps not. Like any business, they exist to make money. They've revolutionized how people meet and connected countless couples who might never have found each other otherwise. At the end of the day, online dating is what you make of it. A tool that can be useful when you understand its limitations and the company's motivations. Once you understand the system, you can use it without letting it use you. So what do we do now? Keep swiping or start asking different questions? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video all the way to the end. If it resonated with you, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and we'll catch you in the next one.